What's up, guys? Today we're going to check out Zodiac on 4K UHD. I'm not here to talk about how good or bad the movie is. I'm just going to share some thoughts on the audio and video quality. Now let's go over a few tech specs. The movie was shot in 1080p. It's got a 2K DI. It's rated R. Runtime is 157 minutes. Aspect ratio is 2.40 to 1. And the audio is in True HD 5.1. Now this movie didn't get a fresh new Dolby ATMOS mix, but for this type of movie, I think it's totally fine. There's not really any crazy or notable surround moments, but the movie does have some decent atmospheric sprinkled throughout. There is a scene at the airport that's got some rain effects that sounded pretty good, and there's some background noise in the office which adds a bit of spaciousness to the interiors. If you want to upmix this using either Dolby Surround or DTS Neural X upmixers, you can squeeze out some good surround extension to liven up your spaces. As for bass response, there is a moment at about an hour 20 minutes in that takes place at the factory where my subwoofers did come to life with some deep rumble. But other than that, there's not too much happening in the LFE department. The dialogue remained easy to hear from start to finish without any issues. And thank you to Kaleidoscape for supplying me with this copy of Zodiac so I could bring you, the home theater movie loving community, this 4K review. Now, if you're tired of waiting on movies to come out on physical disc and you're interested in grabbing a Kaleidoscape, you can get one at our channel partner, Dream Media. Links can be found down below in this video's description. As for video quality, this was shot digitally in 1080p. I believe they also used the same camera for Collateral and Miami Vice. Now, I did not have the original Blu-ray on hand to make any comparisons, but I could be mistaken. But from the looks of it, they may have used some DNR to clean up the image, maybe some form of AI, because the image does look extremely clean, but also somewhat smooth looking. Not to the same degree as the newer James Cameron releases, but there is a processed look about it. It's got some really good detail, not quite 4K crispy levels of detail, so there's no counting of pores or stitches on fabric, but it's still pretty good for a digital camera from 2007. I think if AI was used, we would be seeing pores and all kinds of unnaturally high levels of detail, but we don't get that in this transfer. As for the HDR, it's got a max CLL of 275 and a max FALL of 119, so it's not an HDR scorcher. That said, highlights do appear extremely hot, so whites could be clipping detail, or this could just be a dynamic range limit of the cameras back in that time, or maybe it was just the look he was going for. You could see this on some daytime exterior shots and also on the lights inside the office. The darker shots are bathed in blackness without much, if any, shadow detail. Again, I don't know if this was the intended look or a dynamic range limit. I also didn't notice any low-level noise, which on digital cameras can come across looking grainy in low-lit shots, which would lead me to believe that they did indeed clean up the image. It's also easier to see the waxiness in these darker scenes as well. Now, this is a dark movie, so there are a lot of darker shades of blacks and grays and just an overall muted color palette. Overall, this is a decent looking 4K transfer. It's not one that you're going to pop in to show off your 4K display, but if you really like a clean image and you liked any one of the James Cameron releases, you'll probably really like this one as well. I'm going to go 6.5 for video. For audio, this sounded perfectly fine for this type of movie. It's clean, it's got good ambiance, and it's got easy to hear dialogue. I'm going to go 7 for audio. Now, at the time of this video, Zodiac in 4K is only available on digital streaming or on the Kaleidoscape. The Kaleidoscape version comes in at 88.1 gigs. I do not think there is a release date set yet for the 4K Blu-ray version. So what are your thoughts on this new Zodiac 4K transfer? Have you seen it? Leave a comment down below and let me know. Now, if you do want to pick up this movie, I'll leave some links for it down below in this video's description. As always, guys, thanks for watching. If you want, you can follow us on social media. And if you want to support the channel and get exclusive content or great discounts on audio and video gear, then stop by our Patreon page. Be sure to like this video if you found it useful and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you again in the next one.